Yo, what is up guys, and welcome back to the channel. Today we've got another review on the team of the season, Christopher Nkunku card. We're going to go through the card as stats, clips and summary. Before we get into all of that, if I could ask you guys to please hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell so you know when I upload, and comment down below what your thoughts are on this card. And now, let's get into the review. So guys, this team that I used Christopher Nkunku, and I played him in that cam spot in the 4-2-3-1. I actually didn't use him deep at all either, guys, because my first impression of this card is fantastic. Just in terms of his overall forward play and how he's able to play going forward as well. I thought he was really fantastic at just all the attacking elements. Getting into the review, Christopher Nkunku, 5'10", medium work rates, right-footed, 4 stars, 3-star week, 7 games played, 15 goals scored, and 4 assists. This guy was a goal machine for me, guys. Now, the weak foot is a bit of an issue, and that's something I would pick up on. However, actually guys, in game it doesn't feel like that at all, and you'll see that in some of the clips as well. He played fantastically with that left foot as well. The medium work rates are a bit of an issue, especially if you are going to play him deeper, which is why I think I preferred him in the cam spot, because when I go to play him the ball, I therefore don't need to do too much with him. It's just taking the ball with him and going. So I think he does actually fit the cam spot better. In terms of the details, guys, I put a maestro on him just to kind of boost all the technical elements of his game, especially where he was lacking, which leads me into the attribute details, guys. The key pros of this card: I actually think the shot power is ridiculous on this card. He shoots really well. His long shots are phenomenal as well, guys. And even though they only say 89 there, and the boost with the maestro does help him a lot, his shots really are fantastic. And getting 15 goals is not easy with any card in Division 2. In terms of the dribbling as well, fairly decent dribbling all across the board. The reactions are a little bit low, but again, with the right chemistry style, you can remedy that as well. In general, guys, this card has very good stat set. I think if you put an anchor on him as well, it'd be very good as a DM. So I think you've got a number of ways that you can use this card. I just loved him in that cam spot, guys, and that's really where I used him the most. In terms of the player traits, he's got the finesse shot trait, the outside of the foot shot trait, and the technical dribbler. All great traits to have in a player like this, especially at that cam spot again. And now that we've covered that, let's get into some of the clips that I got with him. So guys, getting to some of Christopher Nkunku's clips, and what you guys are going to see is his general ability in that attacking midfield spot to dictate the tempo, create goal scoring opportunities, and particularly finish them all off. Now guys, the first thing I want to get into is his pace. He feels reasonably quick, guys. Not super fast, but quick enough to be able to move away from the defenders, a decent burst away from the defenders as well, and that allows him to create a lot of opportunities for you in that attacking slot. If we go to the next point, guys, which is, I'm going to go to his dribbling. Now, his dribbling is pretty decent. I do feel like it's a little bit on the stiff side, and only a little bit because of his height. He is very good otherwise, and I do feel like in general, his dribbling is pretty good. In certain tight situations, I found it a little more difficult to use him, but otherwise, guys, I found him really fun to use, especially on that dribbling side. The next I'm going to get into is his passing, guys, and I did feel like his link-up play was really good. He was able to create easy chances for me, moves into the right spots as well, able to play the right balls. So really, all of that, guys, was really fantastic, especially in an attacking midfielder. And I feel like, guys, that would play well even if he was to be in the deep part of midfield, where he would probably thrive as well. Which leads me into the defending and physical stats. Now guys, on the face of it, the defending and physical stats aren't that great. I do feel like that if you were to give him the right chemistry style, maybe an anchor, that would really put him in a good position to be a really good defensive midfielder, a box-to-box midfielder, capable of doing all parts of the game rather than just the attacking part of the game, which I focused on with the maestro. I do feel like that he's got the defensive capability in him. You just need to find out how to use him, who to partner him with as well, and you'll get some great results out of him. The next I want to get into, guys, is his shooting. Now, you will see some clips as they start to roll on of all the goals he scored for me. Some of these goals were fantastic, guys, and it really speaks volumes as to how good this card was in the attacking midfield spot. He was able to score a lot of goals and create a lot of assists, and that's just great to have such a goal-scoring threat in your attacking midfield spot. It means that it's so much easier to finish chances off if you can't quite get them off with your striker. And I feel like in general, guys, his shooting was powerful, it was good, and his finishing was consistent time and time again. There were a lot of finishes in there which were, yes, they're easy, but you still have to stick them away, and he did that very well. The final thing I want to touch on, guys, with this card is his work rates. Now, he has medium work rates, so that's something else to bear in mind when playing him deep in the midfield or in the base of midfield. His work rates will affect him adversely, and you need to set him up with the right instructions to make sure he moves around, because he does get passed by in the middle of the park if he's with those work rates in place. In the attacking midfield spot, you don't really notice it as much because, again, he is the focus of the attack. He does transition at the right time, so that means that you create your opportunities fairly easily when he is in that camp spot. But again, in the base of midfield, watch for those work rates. You will need to help them out a little bit or give them the right instructions. as you guys are seeing now from some of these clips here in the final few, the shots which he's scoring, there were some of them which were easy, yes, but a lot of these are difficult attempts, guys, and a few of them outside of the box as well, which was really nice to have too. That finesse shot trait coming in so handy in terms of finishing off these long range efforts, and there was one even which he blasted off the underside of the bar earlier. But over and over again, guys, the finishes were just brilliant, and I was so surprised with how good he was at finishing because I didn't expect it from this card. Although he is of course a very good and very well-rounded card, I didn't expect movement like this, finishing like this either, so it was really nice to have. And in this final clip, just more of the same. Again, creating an opportunity here by laying it off to Muller, getting it back off the cross here from Zambrotta and heading it in. So guys, getting to this final, Christopher Nkunku summary, 190k on the PlayStation, 165 on the Xbox, and 229 on the PC. Now guys, getting into the key stats of the card, I actually think this card is very well rounded. His passing is really good, dribbling is very good as well, shooting is phenomenal, guys, as you guys are seeing in the clips as well. And overall, guys, he's just a very good, solid player, decent pace, very usable card. With the chemistry style, guys, now, I did end up putting a Maestro on him. It does a lot for him just in terms of his reactions, his passing, and taking those long shots up to a really elite level. So guys, that's a really good chemistry style for him. You could, of course, go a number of different ways with this card. If you're going to play him deeper, then I would suggest the Anchor chemistry style, just to kind of bring his defensive and physical stats all around to a higher level. Also makes him 80 plus in every stat category, so makes him a really fantastic card in that regard. If I was to say a similar player to this card, guys, I certainly don't think Tanguy Ndombele is. I think Tanguy Ndombele is a lot more physical. Martin Odegaard isn't a bad shout either, but I do feel like this Christopher Nkunku has a very good mix of size, capability, and just general finesse as well. He's a very good player. I don't think he's very physical like Camavinga or Vieira, so that's not a good shout to put against him. I do feel like he's more of a technical player, maybe similar in a way to a Leon Goretzka card. Goretzka, of course, a little better at defending, but the play style and what he's able to do on the ball, very similar as well. In terms of linkability, guys, we've of course got perfect links to Team of the Season Nordi Mukiele, headliner Upamecano, the other Mukiele that came out, Konate. There's loads of perfect links in there. Strong links, of course, to all the French icons as well as other players from Red Bull Leipzig. Szoboszlai, Toliso's in there as well from Bayern. Sabitzer's there too, Guendouzi. There's loads of linkability with this card, guys. And finally, looking at the price. Now, he sits currently just below Socrates at 190k. This card will, of course, drop off as the week goes on. He'll certainly trend down towards, I think, around the 170k mark. And for me, guys, that is an absolute steal for this card. He is a very good card, guys. And that leads me to my final recommendation is when this card does drop off a little more, go out and grab him, guys, for your team. He really is a phenomenal card in terms of how well he plays and what he does for the team. Really fantastic at all the elements, whether you chose to play him further forward or play him in a further back position. He'll be able to do a job for you and lock it down in that midfield. Hope you guys did enjoy this review. If you did, please do smash that like button. Until next time, I will see you all in a bit.